Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into the nitty-gritty of the trucking world. It's an industry that, well, it keeps everything moving, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. The whole economy relies on it.
But it's also changing, fast. We've gathered a stack of articles, different viewpoints, covering new rules, road work, even, the future of driving itself.
That's right. And our goal today really is to cut through some of that noise, give you a clear picture of what's actually happening on the ground, in the boardrooms, even at the border.
Yeah, we want to help you understand how these big shifts might impact your day-to-day, your job.
And maybe more importantly, how you can navigate it all, how you can stay ahead.
So we'll unpack some headlines, look at who's saying what, and try to connect those dots. Like Hervey from Life, as a trucker always says, you got to look at things from all angles, right?
Exactly. See the whole picture.
All right, then. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk regulations and roads. Some recent changes and projects that, well, they could definitely affect your routes, maybe even how you make a living.
Yeah, first thing is this big move from the FMCSA, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. They're doing a nationwide audit focusing on what they call non-domiciled CDLs.
Okay, non-domiciled. So we're talking about drivers who are legally working here in the U.S., but maybe don't have a permanent U.S. address, like drivers from Canada,
Yeah.
Mexico, maybe overseas.
Precisely. And the FMCSA's official line is this is all about protecting the, integrity of the whole CDL system.
Improving highway safety, presumably. That's usually the stated goal.
Right. They're saying it's not about targeting anyone specific, but making sure everyone meets the same standard.
But what's really behind it? What are they digging into?
Well, when you look deeper, the FMCSA is pointing to some, let's say, ongoing concerns. Things like fake addresses being used to get licenses, or these shady third-party schools, their term that might be rushing people through training without really teaching them properly.
Ah, the diploma mills of trucking schools.
Sort of. And also, some states might have been a bit loose with verification, maybe overworked, under-resourced, especially during the pandemic chaos, right? Not checking addresses thoroughly, maybe rushing background checks.
So now the feds are putting the pressure on those states to prove their systems are actually up to snuff.
Exactly. Prove they're following the rules.
And the reaction from drivers. I bet that's mixed.
Oh, definitely. You've got a lot of veteran truckers saying, finally, it's about time. They see drivers who maybe can't back into a dock properly or don't secure loads right. They feel it hurts the profession.
They want higher standards, protects their own reputation too.
Right. But then you've got real concern on the other side. Immigrant drivers who followed all the rules they knew, did everything right.
But maybe the state messed up the paperwork.
Exactly. And now they're worried their license could get pulled for something that wasn't their fault at all. And small carriers, they often rely heavily on these drivers. Finding drivers is tough enough.
So if licenses get revoked widely, that means more parked trucks. Not good for anyone.
It really raises that question. Who wins and who loses here? Legitimate drivers pushing for safety might feel they win.
But the drivers caught in the middle, the carriers struggling.
And maybe the state agencies scrambling to comply now, they could all lose out.
So for you listening, the key takeaway here is be proactive.
Absolutely. Don't just wait. Check your own paperwork. Make sure your state followed the FMCSA rules when they issued your CDL. Is your address totally legitimate? Was your training school accredited? Got your legal work authorization handy?
Get ahead of it. Make sure your ducks are in a row.
Precisely. Secure your own livelihood.
Okay, shifting gears now. Literally. Let's talk road improvements. Saw a piece about Manistee, Michigan. They're getting funding for the old US 31 truck route.
Yeah, about $609,000 in federal funds. It's for a makeover. Part of it is ADA updates sidewalks, crosswalks, making it safer for everyone.
But also structural upgrades, specifically for heavy truck traffic.
Yeah.
That sounds promising. When's that happening?
Construction's supposed to start in August.
Okay, so connecting this to the bigger picture, it's maybe a small project in the grand scheme, but significant locally.
Very significant locally. City officials are obviously happy using federal money well, improving infrastructure. But for you, the driver, it's kind of a mixed bag, isn't it?
Always is with construction.
Yeah.
Good news? Maybe smoother roads, fewer potholes, maybe better turns eventually. Bad news.
Bad news. More orange cones, more delays, GPS going haywire, trying to reroute you down streets you definitely shouldn't be on.
Yeah, the classic win on paper versus the actual pain in the neck on the road.
Totally. And policymakers are always talking about fixing rural roads and bridges. They're often in bad shape.
So maybe this kind of project, even small ones, shows that talk is finally turning into action, especially on key truck routes.
That's the hope. If Manistee handles it well, clear signs, realistic timelines, good communication, maybe it becomes a little model for other towns. Maybe it actually saves wear and tear on your truck.
But if it just drags on forever,
Then it's just another orange cone festival, adding more frustration and lost time to your day. We'll have to see how it plays out.
all right, let's broaden the focus now. Some bigger industry shifts, things that could really change the game, and maybe touch on some of the tougher realities drivers are dealing with.
Okay.
And this one, wow, Kodiak Robotics.
Yeah.
They just announced they are the first U.S. company running fully driverless semis on private roads.
Yeah, that's a big headline.
No safety driver, no human inside at all, hauling actual freight. And they're saying public highways by 2027.
That's the target. And it's important to understand what this means. They've been testing with safety drivers for years, racking up miles.
Right, collecting data.
But this step, running what they call a ghost truck on private roads in Texas, hauling real commercial loads for actual customers, that's different. That's a major leap.
The tech CEOs are calling it the future of logistics, I bet. Efficiency, lower costs.
Of course. But for you, the professional driver, the immediate question is, what about my job? What does this mean for me?
Yeah, Kodiak's PR talks safety and efficiency. They don't talk much about driver families or the truck stops that depend on drivers stopping by.
Exactly. And drivers are asking those tough, practical questions. Can a robot chain up tires in a blizzard?
Right, or blindside into some crazy tight dock with obstacles everywhere.
Or react correctly to a sudden, massive pileup? Things humans handle, instinctively sometimes.
The Teamsters and other driver groups must be pushing back hard.
They definitely are, calling for laws to protect jobs, to slow this down until we figure out the impact on people.
So realistically, is this going to put millions of drivers out of work tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow. The tech still has major limitations. Think complex city driving, bad weather, mountain passes, construction zones. Most freight still needs a human touch.
But 2027 isn't that far away. What kind of routes are most vulnerable?
The thinking is those long, repetitive OTR routes, dedicated lanes where it's the same trip over and over. Those are prime targets for automation first.
So local P&D, LTL, flatbed, tanker. Those are maybe safer for longer, more variables.
Generally, yes. Much harder to automate those jobs with all the interaction and unpredictable situations. But the trend is undeniable if the tech keeps getting better.
So what's the advice then? What are smart drivers doing?
The sources we looked at suggest they're not just waiting, they're thinking ahead. Building exit plans, maybe.
Learning new skills, digital stuff, trades.
Exactly. Or starting side businesses, looking at passive income streams. Some are even thinking, okay, maybe I won't drive the AI truck. Maybe I'll own a fleet of them or work in the support side.
So it's about shifting from potential fear to finding freedom and control.
That seems to be the message, taking agency over your own future.
Okay, another big shift. Wall Street getting more involved. We saw Forward Air, the big LTL carrier, is attracting interest from private equity firms like Clear Lake Capital and Apollo.
That's right. Forward Air is a nearly $3 billion company known for handling time-sensitive stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, big private equity names are sniffing around.
And this might sound like just business news, stocks and bond stuff.
But when private equity takes over a trucking company, history shows the drivers often feel the impact first and hardest.
How so? What's the typical playbook?
Well, private equity is usually focused on one thing, maximizing profit, often pretty quickly. That typically means aggressive cost-cutting.
So making things leaner.
Right, which for investors looks good, but for drivers it can mean longer runs for maybe the same or less pay, benefits getting trimmed, more intense digital tracking and micromanagement.
Because they love data and control, but maybe don't understand the human element of trucking.
Often, yeah. And while the top execs might get nice payouts, warehouse workers, dispatchers, mechanics, they might face layoffs or consolidations.
And this isn't the first time PE has looked at trucking, is it?
Not at all. They've been buying up freight brokers, investing in logistics companies, 3PLs, acquiring carriers for a while now. We saw Knight-Swift by AAA Cooper, Apollo picking up pieces of Yellow.
So the worry is when people who don't really get trucking the lifestyle, the challenge is to start making the big decisions.
That's the concern. Things can change fast, and not always for the better from the driver's seat.
And if Forward Air does go through major cost cutting under new ownership,
Yeah.
could that affect other LTL carriers?
It absolutely could create pressure. If one major player starts squeezing costs and maybe cutting rates, others might feel they have to follow suit to compete. That could lead to downward pressure on pay, more push towards automation across the board, maybe higher turnover.
So even if you don't drive for Forward Air, this is something to watch.
Definitely. What happens at one company can ripple through the whole sector. Pay attention to these financial moves.
Now, shifting to something more serious and, frankly, pretty sobering, there was that big drug bust at the U.S.-Canada border recently.
Yeah, a really significant one. A trucker caught with cocaine worth, what, over $23.4 million?
Hidden inside what looked like just a normal load of freight.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder, what's the story behind something like that?
It really does. And it raises that tough question. Was it just a mistake? Was the driver desperate? Or was it something more organized, like an inside job?
The news reports often make it sound straightforward, bad guy caught.
Right, a clean bust. But when you hear truckers talk amongst themselves, the conversation's usually more complex. Was this driver drowning in debt, burned out from low rates, high fuel costs, unpaid waiting time? Did that make them vulnerable?
Or maybe they were just naive. Handed sealed load, told don't ask, offered quick cash.
That happens. And then there's the really dark side, coercion. Organized crime groups threatening drivers or their families. Run this load or else. It's rarely simple.
And an incident like this, it affects everyone crossing that border, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You can bet inspections will increase. More dogs, more questions, more scrutiny of paperwork for everyone. Legitimate drivers just trying to do their job could face delays, suspicion. It damages trust.
It's a heavy situation.
It's a really stark reminder. Your cab might feel like your own little world, but the decisions made inside it have huge consequences. That one driver's choice likely ruined his life, hurt his family, and unfortunately reflects badly on the whole industry.
And Hervey from Life, as a trucker, talks about seeing all angles.
Exactly. And the unspoken angle here is that financial pressure and burnout are real problems for many drivers. That's when bad choices can seem tempting. But risking everything isn't the answer. There have to be better ways to improve your situation.
Yeah, it's clear the industry is just constantly moving, constantly under pressure from different directions.
It really is. External forces, internal changes.
But listening to all this and thinking back on the sources, especially Hervey's perspective, there's a common thread, isn't there?
Absolutely. Whether you're talking about the FMCSA audit or driverless trucks coming down the pike, or private equity calling the shots.
It all seems to point back to the driver needing to take control of their own situation.
Exactly. It highlights how important it is to manage your time, not just for the shipper or the broker, but to manage your time, your energy, your future for yourself.
So for you listening right now, what does that actually mean? It means being proactive, right? Not just reacting when something happens.
Yes. The sources kept coming back to this idea. Use your downtime productively. Learn new skills, maybe something you can do online or a trade. Build side income streams.
Create a buffer, a shield against the ups and downs of freight rates or the economy or even automation.
Think about it. Building an income online that comes in regularly, month after month. That's powerful. That can help you retire when you want to. It can protect you if your company suddenly folds or your main gig disappears.
It's about building that exit plan, even if you love driving. Having options, owning your future instead of just being carried along by the industry currents.
And this isn't about scaring people. It's the opposite. It's about empowerment. It's about freedom.
Yeah, equipping yourself so you feel respected, supported, and resilient no matter what comes next down the road.
So as you navigate all these changes in trucking, just remember, your biggest asset isn't just the truck or the CDL. It's your ability to adapt, to learn, to plan ahead for you.
Well said. And, Hervey from Life as a Trucker, they've been helping drivers since 2008 with that exact message. Get out on your terms. This deep dive really reinforces that.
We covered a lot. Regulations, roadwork, automation creeping in, finance guys making moves, and some tough realities too. But the consistent theme, empowerment, taking control.
So don't wait for 2027 or for some private equity firm you've never heard of to decide your fate. Start laying that groundwork now. Build something for yourself while you're still out there rolling.
Remember, you're the heart of this whole thing. Your well-being matters most.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. That next block of off-duty time, you get maybe it's 10 hours, maybe it's 34, maybe just a few hours waiting. How can you use even a small part of it, not just to rest, but to invest? Invest in a skill, research a side hustle, do something that puts you more firmly in the driver's seat of your own future. Just something to think about. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.